What if I told you there's a blueprint for a perfect society? A society with no crime, no poverty, no injustice. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the catch: history shows that chasing utopias can build paradise or unleash nightmares. Today, we are talking about utopias, model states that promise a perfect world. For centuries, philosophers, leaders, and revolutionaries have drawn up plans for societies where everyone lives in harmony, justice rules, and problems vanish. But here's the big question. Are utopias beautiful dreams worth chasing, or dangerous illusions that end in disaster? Stick with me, because by the end of this video you'll not only understand the idea of utopias, but also how they've shaped real governments, for better and worse. And you'll see why the line between a dream and a dictatorship can be razor thin. The word utopia comes from Sir Thomas More's book in 1516. Fun fact: utopia literally means both no place and good place. That little play on words tells you everything. Utopia is both an ideal vision and something that might never exist. Since then, thinkers from Plato to Karl Marx have imagined model states, societies where humans finally live without conflict or inequality. These blueprints weren't just bedtime stories, they became powerful political ideas. People believed in them, fought for them, and sometimes even died for them. Plato's Republic is one of the oldest examples. His model had philosopher kings ruling with wisdom, soldiers protecting the state, and workers doing their jobs. Sounds neat, but critics said it looked more like a dictatorship in disguise. So, what happens when people actually try to build a utopia? History gives us plenty of experiments. Religious utopias like the Puritans in early America, trying to create a city upon a hill guided by God. Communist utopias like Lenin's Russia or Mao's China, promising a classless society. Intentional communities like the Shakers or modern eco-villages, small-scale utopias built by choice. Each of these started with high hopes. Some lasted decades. But most either collapsed, turned into authoritarian nightmares, or just faded away. Here's where things get tricky. Utopias usually run into three big problems, which include human nature. People aren't perfect. They get jealous, greedy, or lazy. A system built on everyone being selfless usually breaks fast. Power concentration. To create a perfect society, leaders often take huge control for the greater good. That's how utopias slide into authoritarianism. Stalin's Soviet Union started as a Marxist dream and ended in purges and fear. Diversity of values. What looks like paradise to one person looks like a prison to another. Imagine a society where everyone has to think the same, act the same, believe the same. That's not harmony, that's suffocation. So, utopias face a paradox: the tighter they try to control life to make it perfect, the less free people actually are. Storytime: a tale of two utopias. Let's compare two experiments. Case 1: the kibbutzim in Israel. These were collective farms where families lived, worked, and shared everything. For decades, they thrived on equality and cooperation. Kids were raised communally, meals were shared, and private property didn't exist. But over time, younger generations wanted more freedom, privacy, and personal choice. Many kibbutzim had to adapt, allowing private income or loosening rules just to survive. Case 2: North Korea. Officially, it's presented as a socialist paradise, a model state where everyone works together under the leadership of the Kim dynasty. In reality, it's one of the most repressive regimes in the world. The utopian promise became a dystopian nightmare, with no freedom, no prosperity, and no choice. These two stories show the spectrum of utopias. Some collapse quietly, others become cages. Here's the interesting thing: despite all the failures, humans never stop imagining utopias. Why? Hope. People want to believe in a better tomorrow. Utopias give direction, even if they're impossible to fully reach. Critique of the present. When someone paints a utopia, they are really criticizing what's wrong with today. Thomas More wasn't just daydreaming, he was pointing out England's corruption. Motivation for change. Even failed utopias inspire real progress. Marx's vision led to labor reforms worldwide, even in capitalist countries. So maybe the point isn't to actually build a utopia, but to use the dream as fuel for real-world improvements. And here's where we hit the climax, the thin line between utopia and dystopia. The same dream that inspires hope can turn into oppression if pushed too far. Think about Orwell's 1984 or Huxley's Brave New World. Both started as visions of order or happiness, but in practice, they showed the horror of too much control. The lesson: utopias are powerful, but dangerous. They can give us vision, but they can also blind us to reality. The smartest approach might be to use utopias as guides, not blueprints. Aim for better, but don't force perfection. So what's the takeaway? Utopias are like stars, you'll never reach them, but they help you navigate. From Plato to Marx, from the kibbutzim to North Korea, the dream of the perfect state has always driven politics. But perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Every time we imagine a utopia, we ask, how can we make today better? That's the real power of utopian thinking. Call to action. If you found this breakdown useful, check out the next video on your screen, where we dive into dystopias and why failed utopias can be even more powerful than the dream itself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with friends.